Let's now take a look at the news around the East African region. President Salva Kiir and opposition leader of the SPLM in opposition, Riek Machar, have agreed to form a committee to look into the final report of the Independent Boundary Commission, number of states and their boundaries, to come up with findings suitable for both parties and the people of South Sudan. According to a peace accord signed last year, the two leaders will be part of the transition unity government to be set up in November. Now, the Kenyan government has announced today that the adoption of children by foreigners has been banned with immediate effect. A special cabinet this morning, chaired by President Uhuru Kenyatta, is reported to have directed the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection to come up with a policy on the regulation of adoption of children by foreigners. There's a growing number of foreign nationals adopting children from African countries. Reports from Kigali say Parliament has approved a draft law that paves way for Rwanda to cooperate with 32 countries in aviation. The bilateral air services agreement opens the way for 92 new air routes for Rwanda Air, according to Ambassador Claver Gatete, the Minister of Infrastructure. Now, for news around the world, in Mozambique, at least 10 people were killed in a stampede at a campaign rally of President Filipe Nyusi, the ruling party said, just over a month ahead of general elections. The small stadium in the northern city of Nampula, where the rally was being held on Wednesday, was overcrowded, and a crash occurred as people rushed for the exits at the end. The scene was a total chaos, a rally attendee, Benjamin Nyumaho, told the AFP. Former President Robert Mugabe's family has said he will be buried early next week in his village and not at a national monument for liberation heroes. The family of Mugabe, who died in Singapore last week, and Zimbabwe's government have been at odds over whether he would be buried in his homestead in Kutama, northwest of Harare, or at the National Heroes Eka in the capital. His nephew Leo Mugabe said that his body will lie in state at Kutama on Sunday night, then followed by a private burial either Monday or Tuesday. Mugabe, whose autocratic rule ended in a military coup in 2017, died last week, aged 95. His body was flown back from Singapore Wednesday. A Nigerian court Wednesday upheld President Muhammadu Buhari's election victory earlier this year, dismissing a request by opposition parties to overturn the result over claims of vote irregularities. The 76-year-old president won a second term with 56% of the February poll, which was long delayed and marred by violence. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar of the main opposition People's Democratic Party, who came in second with 41%, immediately called the result a sham. Opposition parties lodged a legal challenge against the result in March. French President Emmanuel Macron said today he was sticking by his close ally Richard Ferrand after the Assembly President was charged with conflict of interest over a property deal. The allegations against Ferrand first emerged in 2017, causing embarrassment for Macron, who had just won power on a pledge to rejuvenate France's corruption-plagued political class. Ferrand, who had been appointed minister in Macron's first cabinet, stepped down but later made a comeback after prosecutors dropped the case, saying there was no basis for a prosecution. The matter did not end there. Let's take a quick break and return with news in business.